Alright guys, welcome back. Today we are taking a look at this killer riff, classic riff from the Scorpions, Bad Boys Running Wild from the Love It for Sting album, and this was 1984. Matthias Jabs on the guitar, of course with Rudolf Schenker, and we're gonna learn that impossible sounding intro that I've avoided for years and years and years, but finally decided to buckle down, use my ears, slow this baby down, check out a whole bunch of different live stuff that I could find and what other folks have come up with in terms of how to play this in tab, and put together, I believe, a very accurate version of this intro lick. And we're also going to look at the intro chords when Rudolf Schenker comes in with that cool thing there. So we'll take a look at this in just a second. Make sure that you check down in the description box because I've got some cool stuff down there for you. One is, if you're looking for the tab for this, you can find it over at my Patreon. There's a link down below. Click on that and it'll take you right to it. I've got a whole bunch of cool people there and a bunch of cool stuff already up. So if you're looking for tab for any of my videos recently, you'll find it there, along with some backing tracks for some of the videos and stuff as well. Now, there's also a great free gift I have for you, which is 15 glam metal riffs you gotta know. And this is something I'm really happy with how it turned out. All the cool bands represented, including Rat and Motley Crue and Shotgun Messiah, TNT, White Lion, Cinderella, a whole bunch of those bands. I've done a riff for each band, 15 different riffs, and you'll get the tab and the guitar profiles for free, along with the individual videos. Link to download those if you want to, and you can work on those in your own time. Work on the videos separately. It's a lot of fun. That stuff is a blast to play, and I'm so glad that I grew up in the 80s. Those were my high school years. We had a lot of fun. Too much fun, probably. But it's fun to look back on that era and some of those bands and those riffs. And I'm sure if you're here watching this, a lot of you feel the same way. So make sure to check that out. 15 glam metal riffs you gotta know. All right, so let's get started here. We're in the key of E, E minor, which a lot of Scorpions tunes are in E minor. Rock You Like a Hurricane for one, Blackout for another. We could go on and on, but it's a great key, right? A lot of rock and roll and heavy metal uses this key. The lick starts out on an E note. We're in standard tuning for this, and let's just get right to it. So what's going on here? Yeah, and I saw some crazy tabs for this, like not even close to what he's doing now. Fortunately, I was able to find some live footage of Matthias playing this, so I knew where he was starting the lick, and you can hear some of the accents when he's starting to do a hammer on, for example, or when he's changing strings. It's kind of broken up. When you slow it down, you can really hear it. But at speed, it just sounds like a blur of notes. And for me, it sounded like it was sort of, this impossible thing to play. It's really not that bad. But it will involve some good legato playing, and it's a lot of chromatic notes. So what I'm going to do first is just show you slowly how it goes, and then later I'll speed it up for you. But this is the lick. So we're starting at 12 on the high E string, and what we're going to do is pull off from 12 to 11 to 10 to 9. So I have all four fingers on the fretboard. we're starting with the pinky. Now when you listen to this, there's a little bit of an extra amount of time on the E. It goes by quick, but it's, hopefully you can hear that. The other notes come off quickly, one after the other, but that E note kind of stands out. Okay, and then if we're going from here, right down to the 5th fret. So, and when you get to the 5th fret, you repick that. I don't think I did on the video. I think I just let my left, or my, actually since I'm left-handed, it's my right hand do all the work. Probably your left hand. But you can, when you come down to the, you slide. So you can also pick that note to get a little bit more momentum. So, for example, in fact, I might recommend that to start with if you're having problems getting enough volume out of this. Make sure you have enough gain, but my tone isn't like super gainy. You want to be able to hear the notes. You don't want a bunch of mush. The more gain you have, the more noise you might get too. Now, by the way, as I'm looking at this, I've got the curtain open over here. I'm letting some sunshine in. Hopefully that's not bugging you too much. I just wanted to, it's a hot summer day here. I just kind of want, I just feeling summer. So I just wanted to kind of let it in. So I'm getting a little bit of sun blots on my face, but hopefully you can handle it. So here we go. So when you get to the 5th fret, you're going to go back up, climb up chromatically. So 5, 6, 7, 8, and then pull that off. 7, 6, 5. You put those two together. And then the next thing you do is just play on the B. You just go right to the B string and play 8, 7, 6, 5. So and this kind of how I would practice it is in little bits like that. Get one bit together, connect it with the next bit, keep adding until you get the whole thing. So all of this is entirely chromatic, meaning it's really not following a scale. However, we are starting on that E note, right? And we're in the key of E. And here's where we start using diatonic notes. Diatonic means in the key. So now we're using notes from the E minor scale. So we've just done this. And you can pick those notes also on the B string, starting just that one, the first note, just to get it going. Right, so you're picking here, first note, here, here. That will allow you to get the most volume out of this. Now the next thing we're going to do is go, and this is 4, 5, 7. Just pick the first note, pull off to 5, pull off to 4. So this is right out of the E minor scale. And right after that go 7, 5, 4 on the D. Okay, so we have slow, you heard me kind of rush the notes there. That's one of the tricky things about playing legato lines like this, is trying to keep everything even. you might have a little bit of trouble switching strings right there. So you might want to practice just that move. And the last thing we do is 4, 5, 7, 5, 4, open. So that would sound like this. Again, going to this 4, and that leads to this. Okay, so here's the whole line slow. A little quicker. And that's about how fast it is at tempo. Take your time with it. It's not that bad. If you have a guitar that has high action, it's going to be harder. So, you know, you might want to get your action in a reasonable condition here, or depending on your string gauge. In other words, if your guitar is hard to play, if you're fighting it too much, licks like this can be a little bit troublesome. My action is kind of medium height. I don't like it too low because I like a little fight when I'm bending strings, but it's definitely low enough to play a lick like this without too much trouble. So that's the lick leading into the. Okay, so let's do it again. Okay, so all this is a C major, 3 on the A, 2 on the D, open G, and it's sort of a G over B chord here, but we're not playing the root. We're just on the low string. We're just playing 2, open D, 2 on the A string, open D, open G. It's sort of a staggered rhythm there. Do that twice and then hit an E power chord. Open E string, 2nd fret, A string. Okay, so up until that point, it's all Matthias. Okay, now right there's where Rudolph comes in, and he plays this. Now notice there's a lot of groove going on here. So you really got to listen and make sure you're A, playing the correct chords at the correct time, but also muting properly. The chords are E power chord, and then there's sort of that little, and then there's C 5 power chord to B 5 power chord, then G 5 to D to C power chord. And it just keeps going back and forth between those. Couple little fills in there, which I didn't include in the tab, but is when Matthias gets done with this. big slide E chord. Then he starts lowering the bar. If you have a bar, you can lower it. And then it's actually on the 4th fret wire there. When your bar is lowered, hit that harmonic and raise the bar up. And that's the first fill. And then right before the verse comes in, that's just on the 2nd fret on the G. Think E minor pentatonic in the open position. 2nd fret, G string, just bend that up. Release it, pull off. 2nd fret D. And you're into the verse. And I'll show you a little bit of the verse. Basically, it's start on the E, D major, D sus, A power chord, C major, B 5 power chord, same thing. This time I go back up to C, and then it goes. That's just G, G note, 5th fret on the D, on the A string, sorry. So G, D, and then C. That's the chorus, just in case you want to learn that. Bad boys running wild. That's just E power chord at the 7th fret, D on the 5th fret, back to E, back to D, back to E. And then an A to a G, up to a D, down to the C, and then again. Alright guys, that is all the main riffs to the song Bad Boys Running Wild, including that formerly impossible intro, which is now very possible for you to play. Good luck with that. I think you'll be surprised how easy that comes together with a little time maybe, and super cool lick to add to your arsenal and your repertoire. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you next time on another video. In the meantime, make sure and go check out Patreon for the tab and guitar profiles for this, as well as 15 glam metal riffs you gotta know. Links down below. Go check it out. I'll see you next time. Rock on.